How about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid heard that solo.
You see my kid?
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Park Tudor High School as we bring you night 2 of high school basketball here on IndianaSRN. Tonight, it'll be the Golden Eagles of Guerin Catholic and the host Panthers of Park Tudor. Guerin Catholic last year at 14-11, and Park Tudor finished their season at 14-7. Tonight's game brought to you in part by IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences. Begin your journey today. Also by the Morales Group, building better futures one story at a time. Burner Electric, serving greater Indianapolis and the surrounding counties. Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation, we do it all. And by Reynolds Farm Equipment, serving our customers and the community since 1955. Great to have you with us, and by the way, happy Thanksgiving to everyone as we get ready for the holiday coming up tomorrow. And almost like some holiday basketball here tonight between these two teams. Should be a lot of fun. Two teams that, one might be a little more established, Greg, than the other one. But I think when you look at two teams that are used to winning, these are two of the better teams you're going to see around this area.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be interesting. Bobby Allen in his 5th year with the Guerin Golden Eagles, and in his notes to us this week, he said this is going to be kind of an interesting year. They're off to a little bit of a tough start. Their kind of leader, Jack Cherry, is out from a football injury, and so they have not had him back yet. So he said they're still trying to sort some things out, but looking forward to a good season. They've got a few good key returners. We'll talk about them. But, yeah, I think it's going to be very good. And then over at Park Tudor, Tim Adams, also his 5th year. They had a couple people that lost last year, some key scorers, but they've got another big scorer in Jermaine Coleman coming back. So I think it's going to be a really great game. Both teams new to, just getting started this year.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see kind of how they come together.
Well, we're going to talk about a special player. As you said, Jermaine Coleman, and he is very special. He's a young man that definitely will be an Indiana All-Star this year, and really kind of depending on how they do, I don't know that he is going to be in the Mr. Basketball discussion, but he's good enough to be an Indiana All-Star. Let's go with Guerin first. You already mentioned, again, you're a team that you lose a very, very good player last year in Will Grissom at nearly 17 points per game. When you don't have Jack Cherry in the lineup because of the football injury, and now you got to find a way to replace Will Grissom, and I watched him play. He's a very, very talented player. Where are you going to find the points? I know they got some key players back, but finding 17 points could be kind of tough.
Yes, indeed. Robert Sorensen comes back. He was about a 9.5 point per game, 3.5 rebounds last year. And Lucas Parker, another one coming back. He's a senior this year. He averaged almost 9 a game last year. But the coach was talking about Kamia Chandler, and he's got a lot of speed. He averaged about 6 points per game last year, so they said really watch for him this year. And then they have a transfer. Dylan Murans, believe, came in from Avon. Coach said he's very long and hopes to hear a lot about him this year as they go forward with kind of how they build the team.
Yeah, he's 6'7", and
right.
He certainly love to have that kind of size. They might be a little bit bigger when you think if Ryan Zimmerman, a junior, gets a chance to get some minutes as well. He is also 6'7", so that size will be very, very pivotal this year for Guerin Catholic. We're going to talk about Park Tudor here in a moment, but I got to go back to Guerin. Only averaged 57 points per game last year in a team that, again, loses a 17-point score. And one other thing about last year's matchup between these two teams is Will Grissom had 33 points. So they know that Grissom's gone, but now you got to find those points. Back to that whole point thing, who's going to step up and put some points in the basket. So kind of a feeling out process very early between these two teams for sure. Tell you what we'll do. We'll come back, if we may, and we're going to talk about Park Tudor, because I tell you what, they're loaded. They got a lot of players back from last year, and we'll talk about the Panthers coming up in a moment.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Back once again here at Park Tudor. Great to have you with us here as we get ready for a huge matchup. Game 1 between Park Tudor and Guerin Catholic. By the way, Park Tudor, Greg, has not won a sectional since 2016. They're used to winning, and I think they're getting a little anxious about now, and they're hoping this could be the year. They ended up going 14-7 last year. They lost to Heritage Christian in the sectional tournament 69-54, but they've got a lot of players back. You already mentioned one of them in Jermaine Coleman. He's already committed to Purdue Fort Wayne, so he's a special kind of talent at 6'7".
Absolutely, and they're really going to have to lean on him. Jordan Bowles last year averaged another 13. He's gone, and so you're going to have to make that up. So I have a feeling Jermaine Coleman's going to be a real highlight, and you know that Guerin is going to be all over him.
Yeah.
Because that's where they assume the points are coming from. Bryce Petty averaged about 7 last year, and so I'm sure they're going to try to lean on him. And we also have Thomas Ruffin, 6'3". He'll be a senior this year. He averaged about 5 last year. So a couple of those guys that were in the low, mid-single digits, they're going to really need them to step up to try to help Jermaine, because those defenses are going to be concentrating on Jermaine Coleman.
Basketball has become such a perimeter game. We saw that a lot last night in our Heritage Christian game, even with the players that are 6'6", 6'5", all playing to the outside. And I noticed for Jermaine Coleman as well, 17.5 points, but only 4 rebounds per game, but he shot 40% from three-point range. I would venture to say he's gotten stronger after last year. We'll probably see him shooting a lot of threes again tonight.
I would assume so, because if he's down underneath, they're going to have him double-teamed, triple-teamed, everything else. So if they can work him out a little bit into the wings, and he can take that shot and make that shot, that's going to put a whole new dynamic on this game.
Yeah.
And especially going in the first game, there's going to be a lot of jitters. There's going to be a lot of kind of ugly ball handling probably. And so sometimes the perimeter is the place to maybe kind of get it started if you can put up a couple shots and get it to fall.
The reason I brought that up is last night Miles Colvin, who plays at Heritage Christian, is a perimeter guy. He's 6'6". He's going to be a small forward when he gets to Purdue. But everything he did was pretty much from the outside. The shooting, the driving, everything he did was out there. but I never once saw him post up down low. That's kind of amazing.
It is. It's very amazing when you see these big guys now that you're used to having the big guy down underneath, and all of a sudden they're out there on the perimeter.
Yeah.
And it completely changes the game. I mean, we see that in college. We see that in the NBA with these bigger guys that can shoot now. And before it was just feed the rock down to the post, let them turn around and put it against the glass.
Yeah.
And now we're just not seeing that. And I think that does, as you said, changes the dynamic of what teams are going to have to do, both on the defense and then, hey, if you've got a guy that's 6'7" that can go out and shoot from the perimeter, great.
Yeah.
You've got quite a weapon at that point.
By the way, with the 4 rebounds per game for Coleman, he was not even in the top 2. You had Wilkerson at 5, and I take that back. He was in the top 2, but he was not ahead of guys like Cal Bostic, who had averaged 4.3 rebounds per game. So right. I just find that kind of interesting.
It is, yeah. And again, that's that, if you've got that big guy that can shoot, he's not going to be the guy that's camped out under the bucket all the time. And so then some of your smaller guys, those forwards, even those guards that are quick and get in there and steal those rebounds away sometimes. And that's, I think, what we're going to have to see. It's going to be interesting. Both teams are, this is the first game for both teams. And so we're going to have to see, there's going to be some jitters. Are there going to be a lot of fouls? Are they in game shape yet? Are they moving their feet? The passes may not be as crisp, or you just don't quite have the feel of where that teammate's going to go.
Yeah.
And so making some of those passes. So it's going to be interesting to see early on how it goes. I know our game last night, the Speedway Covenant game, it seemed to kind of get, the longer we went into it, things smoothed out a little bit. The shooting got a little better. The passing got a little better. Still a lot of fouls.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I would watch for tonight to see kind of how they're going to adjust. And we'll see. And hey, this is the refs' first night too, so we'll see how they call the game tonight.
Hey, being an official, I never had an off night.
Well, there you go. That's
Hey, one last thing about tonight too. Both teams are really good shooting basketball teams, and I anticipate we're going to see that again here tonight. And Guerin Catholic may be a little bit better of a shooting team because overall last year they were at 48% as a team, and that is pretty good. I know Grissom is not with them, but they got some guys who can really stroke it. That could be really key tonight.
Absolutely. They, as you said, 48 from the floor, 35 from three-point. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep that percentage up to start the year. And the same with Park Tudor. They shot at a good percentage last year. Are they going to come out and be able to do that again this year?
By the way, I was watching Dylan Moran's. He was shooting from three-point range just a little bit ago, so I have a feeling we'll have a couple of 6-7 guys on the outside shooting a lot of three-pointers. We had a lot of games around the state of Indiana last night. By tonight and probably into Friday, Saturday, everybody will get a game in. You'll kind of know where you stand early in the season. That is, again, a benchmark early, yes, but certainly when you play 25 games now in a regular season, you have those holiday tournaments that allow you to play even more games. You're going to get a good 27 games in before the tournament starts.
Right. These first games are important, but yet you kind of forget that a lot of times those are gone within 2 or 3 games.
We'll take a timeout. More coming up right here on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
Back here at Park Tudor. By the way, this is a absolute great gym to be in for high school basketball. It is bright. It is fun. It's great atmosphere. It's not real big, but I'll tell you what, the atmosphere is just fantastic.
Absolutely, yeah. Great gym. And you're going to have a great crowd tonight, too.
We're going to get an opportunity to go down to the starting lineups and our public address announcer. There are the starting lineups. It'll be Wilkerson, Petty, Coleman, Ruffin, and Bostic. Really no surprise there. On the other side for Guerin Catholic, Sorensen, Chandler, Hulba, Parker, and Morans. All right, keys to this one. Again, I'm sure both teams are nervous. We might see some turnovers like we did last night in our game, but bottom line is we're ready to go. Absolutely.
Cannot wait to see what's going to happen here. Again, I think the keys are control what you can control. Try to limit your turnovers and try to limit your fouls and make some good passes, and let's see where the ball goes.
Cal Bostic will tip it up in the middle along with Dylan Morans at 6'7", the transfer again from Avon. Guerin in the black, and again the home team, Park Tudor, in the white. And the season opener is underway, and Guerin Catholic will control the basketball first and see how this whole thing plays out early. We always talk about that feeling out process in the first couple of minutes of the game, and you haven't scouted anybody yet. Is that shot? Turnaround jumper good by Morans and an early 2-0 lead. But again, that feeling out process is important.
Right, and you see there that Park Tudor came out man-to-man. Guerin comes out, it looks like man-to-man also. So we'll see how they go.
That three on the way, no good by Coleman. Their offensive rebound, put back, no. We'll go to the free throw line as Ruffin will go there for two. Foul's going to be on 14. Lucas Parker picked up his first. Now, we just talked about Jermaine Coleman a little bit ago, and the 6'7" senior left-hander shot that three right out of the gate.
Came out and shot it up, so we'll see what happens. See if they're going to keep doing that.
By the way, Cal Bostic at 6'5", he's only a sophomore. I remember wasn't too long ago they had a couple of guys who were pretty darn good that ended up going to IU and Xavier, and those guys were very, very good basketball players there for Park Tudor.
Indeed.
So 2-1 your score. Guerin with their second possession. You see the student section is here in force, and that'll be a traveling call against Guerin Catholic, and that'll go against Dylan Morans.
Again, just a little bit nervous maybe. Just picked up that foot a little early before he put the ball down on the floor.
So a good look at number 4, Ben Wilkerson, a 5'10 junior. Pull-up jumper, 14, can't get the roll, and we'll head the other way, the rebound Parker. This is number 10, Chandler. Good defense here by Park Tudor. And you see right there, there's the perimeter we always talk about. Not a whole lot of players playing underneath. The drive, the kick, the three on the way is off the mark. And we have a rebounding foul called against Guerin. I think they got Hulba, the 6'3 junior, and that'll be his first.
It'll be interesting to see. I know the game we worked last night, fouls became an issue. And so we'll see early on here. We've got 2 fouls on Guerin, so that'll be something to watch as we go along just about a minute and a half in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mentioned turnovers. Last night, Heritage Christian, 18 turnovers, and they still won the ball game. I think they're fortunate to win. Here's a 3 by Ruffin. It is good. Thomas Ruffin, the 6'3 senior, getting his first basket of the season. This is not a big gym. I mean, it's very bright. I've refereed here before, and it's really, really very bright. As that shot in the corner by Morans is good, and he has all 5 points now for Guerin. I just love this new gymnasium, and a lot of areas around it make it very spacious, and we've got a whistle and a foul, and that's going to go against Chandler. That's going to be his first, and 3 team fouls against Guerin Catholic.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. They haven't subbed out anybody yet, keeping everybody in with just 1 each, so we'll see how that goes.
Here's another 3 on the way. Missing from the left side is Ruffin. Guerin out on the run the other way, and the basket is good, and we've got a foul. That'll be Chandler getting his first 2 points, and he'll go to the line for and 1. Wilkerson picks up the foul. That'll be his first. We watched Guerin last year at their place, and I know we have him again on Saturday in a boy-girl doubleheader as Chandler able to hit the free throw. And they're very good at home. That's one thing. Guerin does have a nice home court advantage. And now they take a 2-point lead. Wide open shot on the way is no good as Wilkerson couldn't get it to fall, and we've got a rebounding foul on Park Tudor.
Is that on Cal Bostic?
Oh, they're going to say Petty, I believe. So, yeah, Bryce Petty picked up the foul, his first. So now Guerin a chance here to build on a 3-point lead. Entry pass to Holba. Nice pass, and the layup good by Chandler. How about that, huh?
Beautiful feed right down there as he came running right down the lane. Great pass.
Gotta love the big guys who can pass.
Absolutely. That's what's so great when you see those guys playing that post. Guerin looking much more down low. Park Tudor looking to shoot long.
Boy, another miss there by Jermaine Coleman. Here come the Golden Eagles again. Another shot from 3, no good. The rebound, Wilkerson, he's out on the run. The drive down the lane, and a foul will send him to the line for 2. Looks like they got 22. Morans picking up his first. So Wilkerson will go to the line. I think both teams would love to get up and down the floor here tonight. Transition basketball is so important for a lot of teams that maybe don't have the size, but, you know, Park Tudor has plenty of size, but those guys are very athletic. One more now for Ben Wilkerson.
Both teams are definitely seeming like they're not afraid to run, so we'll see. They're moving the ball right up and down, so we'll see what happens.
Second one is no good. Wilkerson last year, he and Petty 5 assists apiece per game. That is Robert Sorensen. I'll be curious, too, to see what type of depth you'll work with tonight. I know coaches want to see players as much as they can, but here's Holba from 15. Good. Big guy stepping outside. But the thing is, you also want to get your starters a lot of game time early.
Absolutely. They really want to see how they're going to react.
Coleman another 3, and he is 0 for tonight. And we've got a rebounding foul. That's going to go against Cal Bostic of Park Tudor. Kind of cleared out the rebounder. And we're about halfway through this opening period, and we will see our first substitution of the ball game. Each team, in fact, Guerin with 4 fouls, and Park Tudor now with 3. Park Tudor in a man-to-man as they'll look to trap when possible. Ball in the lane and a traveling call, and that'll be the second turnover now by Guerin Catholic. Coming into the lineup, that'll be KJ Mark, a 5'11 sophomore. KJ wearing number 24. Looks like he'll take over the point duties. And also in the ball game will be Kamen Washington. He's a 6'2 junior. He'll wear number 11 now for Park Tudor. Last night we had a game where it looked like that opening quarter we're going to see a lot of points, and the points just kind of dwindled after that. You know, conditioning could be a problem too. You get early in a ball game and you're breathing really heavy because you're all excited and can wear you out a little bit. There's a traveling call
there.
I believe that's number 1 though on Park Tudor.
That's the first turnover I have, and it will be interesting. Everybody wants to run right away, right out of the gate, and then about halfway, 2/3 of the way through that first quarter, you're going, I am in trouble here. I can't keep doing this. I'm not quite ready for that yet in season.
Well, Jermaine Coleman, by the way, has not hit a shot yet. All of his shots have been from three-point range. I tell you what, I know he shot 40% last year, but I might just dare him to keep shooting it. Nice cut down the lane, and there's the dunk right there by Dylan Morans. And the transfer from Avon, scoring some huge points early for Guerin Catholic.
Beautiful pass again. And then came back and now picks up his second foul.
Yeah, he may have to sit down after that second. Take another look at this one. Great cut, and Coleman just kind of lost him. You got to keep your head on a swivel right there.
Totally lost him.
So it will be Park Tudor basketball. Thomas, take that back, 22 Morans again with his second foul. Into the ball game now for Park Tudor will be Hudson Horvath. That is Horvath from 3, got it. He's only a sophomore. He is one of 3 sophomores that have already played here tonight for the Panthers. Lead is back to 5.
Moran's on the bench. It's going to be interesting to see where they go.
By the way, that foul, I believe they're going to say is on 22, Ruffin. So he picks up the foul. By the way, Keelan Smith is in, a 6'4 freshman now for Park Tudor. So I was just talking about depth, and they got everybody out there.
Now we're starting to see everybody right away.
Chandler at the line for Guerin Catholic hits the first one. He's now 2 for 2. Guerin opening up a 6-point lead with Chandler back in for number 2. And I'll tell you what, I know that they're missing Will Grissom from last year. We talked about in the pregame they don't have Jack Cherry, but they've been impressive early. And we've got a timeout on the floor. First timeout called by Park Tudor. Hey, I want to remind you tonight's game brought to you in part by Jack Cherry Insurance Agency. We suggest you contact his team for all your insurance needs, whether it's family, car, business, or home. They're an insurance company that will serve you. You can contact them by giving them a call at 317-894-7000. Want to thank Jack Cherry Insurance Agency for being a big part of IndianaSRN sports.
Well, Camilla Chandler, he's come out for Guerin with 2, 4, 6, 7 points already. So it'll be interesting to see how he continues. We were wondering who was going to pick it up, and so I think he's going to be one of those that does.
Well, I am very anxious to see when they get an opportunity to see some of these kids, because from a chemistry standpoint, I know you've practiced for a while, been in it for a couple of weeks, and you play a lot of camps and such, but when you get under the lights on a night like tonight, you really can see the game change quite a bit. We got a drive and a foul call as KJ Mark will go to the line. But I'm impressed already. I know it's very early. The survey that we see so far hasn't been big, but you got some young kids on this Park Tudor team that can play. Robert Sorensen picks up the foul, by the way. One more here for KJ Marks. We've seen Bostic, Mark, 2 sophomores, Horvath, a sophomore, and Keelan Smith, just a freshman, all getting some early playing time for Park Tudor. And the second one is good. Should mention, too, Greg, that playing at the varsity level is a little bit different playing JV basketball.
It's amazing. The rim is still at 10 feet, but the speed of the game is just a whole lot different when you come up one level. You've got a couple more minutes, a quarter to play, so that adds another dimension to it. So it's interesting to see. Park Tudor is, again, as you were just saying, they're playing a very young rotation here already. They've had some really youngsters out there. So brilliant drive right down the lane.
Yeah, how about Camilla Chandler? He's a senior, having an excellent opening period and now an 8-point lead.
He's so far just been a one-man wrecking ball. Not afraid to drive the lane.
Now there's Coleman again.
But they're keeping him way out there. And they're staying pretty tight on him, so he's not like he's even getting a free shot.
There's another three on the way by Horvath. I'm always curious, though, at 6'7", would he be a better threat down posting underneath the basket? And maybe he's just not used to having his back to the basket. That three-pointer no good by Lucas Parker.
It'll be interesting to see if they keep him all the way out there. I mean, he's spotting up every time all the way out on the perimeter.
Yeah,
he's not even looking down low.
There he gets
there
that one. Coleman gets his first, and I was watching underneath. There's just no inside presence at all.
There's nobody down there. And you see when Jermaine Coleman comes down the floor, he doesn't even look underneath.
Yeah.
He just parks out there looking for that long-range shot.
I will be curious to see what his role will be at Purdue Fort Wayne. Drive by Sorensen.
Nice cutoff on the baseline there.
There's a steal. Back the other way and may have gotten away with a travel as Horvath, but he has 5. And the third turnover for Guerin. The shot at the buzzer is no good. And we have a high-scoring affair so far. Guerin on top by 3. Welcome back to Park Tudor. 18-15 after 1. We want to take a look at the three-pointer here by Coleman. Watch him step out. Now he's way behind the three-point line.
That is a deep three right there, indeed.
Hey, want to remind you tonight's game brought to you in part by Industrial Sales Associates. They have been an electromechanical component manufacturer's representative for Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan, and Eastern Tennessee for many, many years. They say good luck to all the teams during this winter sports season. If you need more information about Industrial Sales Associates, contact Rich at 317-546-1900.
It's a pretty clean first quarter. I had 3 turnovers for Guerin Catholic unofficially, and then Park Tudor just made another turnover there.
Layup at the other end by Chandler, who's having a heck of a first half now.
I had him for 9 in the first quarter, and there's 2 quick ones.
And he just picked up a foul right there, so he has 2, and Moran's has 2. And that's some quickness right there from behind. Always keep your head up and your eyes up to see the guy breaking.
I think that's what he was going to try to do here, but he got the foul instead of the steal.
We are now in the bonus. That is the 7th foul against Park Tudor, and the front end of the 1-and-1 is missed there by Wilkerson. Ball loose on the floor. Guerin will keep it. Shot in the corner missed. Battle for the rebound, and there is Coleman.
Again, he pulls up. He had no desire to want to drive down into that baseline area there.
Entry, double team in the kick. Here is Ruffin for three. Good. Ruffin hits his second three-pointer. And the lead down to 2 here for Guerin.
That was a nice shot. They had the ball down low, kicked it out, and he was open.
Well, I like what I see out of these two teams right here, and especially that young man is Chandler having his way here in the first half.
He has completely taken over for Guerin Catholic in this first half.
Baseline drive, the shot missed by Bryce Petty, and we've got a foul on Petty on the rebound.
That'll be his second.
Take another look at this one. Another downtown three. Okay, you know what they say, you live and die by the three, and when it's not falling, you've got to have kind of a backup plan someplace in there, and I'm not saying maybe it's too early for Park Tudor to start thinking about that. They've hit a couple of threes, but when it doesn't happen, what are you going to do?
Right. They have shot a lot of those threes already, and they are starting to hit a couple more here now, and so we'll see if they can continue. But then you look at the score and you say, well, they're not hitting, but they're only down 4.
Tough call there against Wilkerson. He just picked up his second, so now you have 2 on Wilkerson, 2 on Petty, and we've had 2 on Chandler, 2 on Morans. So some guys starting to pick up a few fouls.
Definitely fouls, I think, are going to come into play even earlier than maybe I thought they would.
Head coach Tim Adams not happy with that call right in front of the bench, so he let the official know about it. Nice spin in the lane with a left hand no, as Lucas Parker.
Nice putback.
Able to get the rebound and put back. Parker using that left hand and that spin to the inside.
Really thought they had everybody boxed out, and he slipped in underneath.
Panthers basketball. Now down by 6. There is Coleman. Coleman is not seen. There's a traveling call. That'll be number 3, I believe, on Park Tudor. Take another look at this. Take that back. That was actually on that putback. Not sure if that was Bryson Cardinal or was that Parker still?
I had Parker, I thought.
Okay. 24-18, the third turnover by the Panthers.
Nice
Holba.
Defense there.
Yeah, and Holba sets a big screen, by the way. This is Sorensen. Holba another screen. Boy, they had him for a moment.
Looked for the roll and the 3.
So Sorensen gets his first 3 of the night. And there's your biggest lead of the ballgame at 9.
It looked like Park Tudor was really starting to work their way back in, and then all of a sudden it goes back to 9. Coleman with a nice rebound, put back, but he got fouled. He's right down there now, exactly where you were saying. Man, we've got to get him down there.
So the foul's going to be called on
25, Julian Melendez.
So Melendez entering the lineup.
And that's his first.
Here is Coleman at the line for 2. He has 3 points so far tonight, and they're struggling from the line. Second one for Coleman.
They're 4 of 8 from the line so far tonight, and 5 of 9 as Jermaine Coleman makes the second.
I was going to mention quickly Julian Melendez, another sophomore. So we've seen a lot of young kids on both sides with some early playing time here tonight. See if Guerin can continue to put the pressure back on Park Tudor here in the first half. Now again, I think Morans has come out of the ball game because of the fouls. There's another drive in the basket, good.
By Sorensen, he drove the lane. I was just going to say they had cut him off twice on that, and then that time they missed him, and he just drove right down the lane.
Now, if you're Park Tudor, you got to be a little bit concerned how many times they've been able to get to the basket that easily.
Right. They've done a good job a couple times where they've cut that screen or the drive off, and then a couple times they've just completely missed and let them drive right down the lane for the easy layup.
See, Washington is playing in that high post area. He has the basketball. They're trying to at least show that to that Guerin Catholic defense. That shot missed by Horvath, and here come the Golden Eagles again, and they turn it over. Number 4 now for Guerin. Spin move, that one off the glass by Washington is no good, so 1 and done.
And that's one of the first times I've really seen Park Tudor try to take it into the basket. They've been really happy to settle for those 3-pointers, even though they've not been hitting them. Guerin with the turnover, and then Guerin with the foul.
And Sorensen picks up his second, and that's what you call kind of the double negative. Take another look at this one here. Yeah, see, that's almost too easy down the lane. There was no backside help.
The backside help never came.
Yeah, Ruffin should have been there. So after the foul on Sorensen, he has 2. Chandler has 2. Morans has 2. And I believe we have a timeout on the floor, and we do. And it's going to be a full timeout, 29-19.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Aspen Creek Grill. If you feel like treating someone special to a delicious meal from Aspen Creek Grill, you can do so. Next time you come in for dinner, make sure you buy some gift cards as we are in the giving season. You can share with your friends and family. Aspen Creek Grill has great food. Make sure you try their powwow shrimp. Aspen Creek is located in Noblesville. This is Washington at the line for the 1 and bonus. And they're getting a lot of their points at the free throw line here in the first half. We have not received, I have not seen a preseason AP poll put out yet in boys high school basketball, which is kind of unusual. We know the IBCA put out their poll this week. I don't know if there's any clear favorite when you look at all 4 classes.
Yeah, you look at all classes, and there were so many seniors that graduated, and then you've got to figure out who is going to step up and take those points. Some of the teams were young last year with a lot of experience, so you wonder, are they going to come in and really take over that maybe you didn't hear a lot about last year? It's going to be interesting.
Boy, nice up and under the point. Good by Chandler.
He is just incredible tonight. They've just not had an answer for him at all. He had 9 in the first. He's got 6 already this quarter.
And if my math is correct, that's 15. So
I think you are correct.
What a first half for Chandler. Maybe he's trying to equal last year's 33 that was scored by Grissom. Nice move in the lane, and we've got a whistle and a foul, and looks like the freshman Smith will go to the line for 2.
Looked like that foul was on Ty Sanders, his first.
Sanders, a 6'2 senior for Guerin Catholic. This guy's got a lot of length. You look at Smith at 6'4", just a freshman. We already talked about Coleman as the front end of 2 is missed. You have Ruffin at 6'3", Bostic at 6'5", Austin Willis, we haven't seen him yet, at 6'6". There's a lot of athletes out here.
Definitely have some height. One of the areas I was not gifted in, so.
But you use the height that God gave you well, by the way. Smith hits 1 of 2.
Missed the height, got the girth.
9-point lead. It was at 10 moments ago for Guerin.
Had him trapped in the corner, got it out.
You can see Park Tudor chasing a lot right now. They're trying
really
to
are.
up this tempo.
They just feel like they're almost a little behind. Beautiful inlet pass to the post. Turn and got it.
That was Melendez getting the 2 points. Yeah, that was a great play there by Camilla Chandler. And they have not have an answer for him either in the scoring department or in the passing area. So Chandler playing well. And we've got travel there, so that's going to be the 4th turnover as KJ Mark take another look at this pass.
Beautiful reach around pass.
And if Smith is going to double, you better make sure that Coleman comes over and gets that man. He was way late.
He was watching for the shot to go up for the rebound, and it never went until it was too late.
Lead at 11. Turnaround jumper is short, but there's Guerin to get another rebound. Parker gets it back, fires the 3, and hits that one. And it is all Guerin right now. They now have built a 14-point lead.
They just look like they're not quite sure where the ball's going to go. They're just almost a step behind.
Coleman!
There for 3 for Jermaine Coleman.
By the way, you just saw right there that Guerin had gone into a 2-3 zone as well.
Right.
That may pull him out of it at some point if Coleman can get hot tonight, but the lead back to 11.
And you wonder if they specifically did that because he's sitting out there behind that 3-point line to see if they can get him out there and see if that 2-3 zone can bother him out there.
That's good hustle there by Hudson Horvath of Park Tudor. Coming out of the lineup will be Kamen Washington. Thomas Ruffin into the lineup. You see Horvath guarding the inbound. Of course, they have the inbounder right in front of that student section, and they're giving him a what for.
They are giving him everything he could ever want and then some. But you saw he had nothing, and he just threw it right off the Park Tudor player.
This guy right there to his right in his face. You got to love school spirit. It's going to be a foul there on KJ Mark, his first. So we're going to be in the bonus there. All you need now is you need bleachers down at the end. If you can put them there with the free throw shooters and such.
Yeah, they can have all the crazy signs and the things moving back and forth.
Big heads, that's
there
right.
You go.
The big heads. Guerin at the line, and
Grissom missed the front end of a 1-and-1.
They've only been to the line, 3 times?
Yeah, I've got them. That's just their 3rd foul shot. Made the first 2, missed that one.
Here is Coleman again from
now.
3.
So is Jermaine Coleman going to start heating up now?
Well, I'm not sure how you guard that. He was way out there on that one.
He is. Great idea, just a little bit too much on that pass.
So that'll be 6 turnovers now on Guerin. You just saw the 3-pointer there by Coleman. And it's 6-7, and you go out that far. You say, hey, good shot.
Yeah, you can't. There's no defense for that. You can put a hand in his face, but that's about all you can do. And it's going to be hard to even do that when you're 5 feet beyond the arc. So
this one from about 17 by Ruffin. Might have been a little bit quick on the shot. So now Guerin may get a last look right here. And they will not, because they turn it over again. That's number 7. Well, you expect that. We talked about it last night. We mentioned that Heritage Christian had 18 turnovers. Here's Coleman from the volleyball line. Missed it, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. And what about the first half for Chandler? Jermaine Coleman, though, did a great job bringing them back with a couple of threes right there. But I think everything other than maybe, I'm a little surprised, Guerin is putting up some big-time points in the first half.
They really are. Camilla Chandler has just been unbelievable tonight. Everything, he's made some great passes. He's driving. He's made some good shots. So he's already got 15 in this game, and he's the guy that we said who's going to make it up from last year, and he's the one that's really starting to. And then, for Park Tudor, we talked about Jermaine Coleman a lot, and we weren't sure the first quarter he only had 3, and now here he's got 7. in the second quarter already. He hit those 2 threes late. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's interesting. Park Tudor's gotten it back down to 8 points. So we'll see what's going to happen. What adjustments are the coaches going to want to make in that second half?
You know, one of the key for Guerin is that Dylan Morans, who had that nice dunk in the first quarter, got those 2 fouls, and you can see already his athleticism, but they're going to need him on the floor in the second half for sure.
Absolutely. And you hope now that some of these guys that sat a pretty good portion of that first half with 2 fouls, hopefully they can kind of kick back a little bit, get the feet under them, move the feet a little bit more, not be so handsy, and try to keep the fouls to a minimum.
We'll run down to some of the scoring in the first half here in just a couple of moments. Want to remind you tonight's game brought to you in part by Ref Reps. They're designed in partnership with numerous state high school associations. They'll be helping officials to hone their skills and promote unity in the officiating world. Ref Reps is the new official as well as for the new official and the well-seasoned veteran. You can contact them for more information at refreps.com. We will take a timeout. Your halftime report coming up. And again, I promise we'll check out the first half numbers in a moment. This is high school basketball in IndianaSRN.
Today, greed, selfish interest, and barefaced corruption seem all the fashion. America needs great men of tolerance who can give honest debate to the great issues of the day. I'm seeing mostly squabbling, men squandering their time, being wolves to one another. Yet, I'm not without hope. We still have Freemasonry. Yes, the same Freemasons that helped create this country have always provided great men when needed. And today, in every city and town in America, Freemasonry is still providing that special place where young men can find their greatness and accomplished men can give something back. Yes, in this time of great hope, it is my hope that America will see that Freemasonry is a national treasure that cannot be separated from our country's future.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake. Yeah.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got a counter right here. Isn't this where you place the orders?
We sell trophies, we sell plaques, we do embroidery. No food.
You got carry out?
Unlike the internet, everything that you need we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
You know, Jim, I'll be back tomorrow to pick it all up.
We'll wait for you.
Don't wait long.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. You know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year, all sorts of sports. Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Bertner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner. first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAFoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
You want a sports degree that is beyond the game? A degree that immerses you from day one and launches you into the business side of sports. With a sports management major from IUPUI's School of Health and Human Sciences, you'll have insider access to sports professionals and will learn from faculty with years of teaching and industry experience. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sport industry career.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Back here at Park Tudor, want to remind you this broadcast is copyrighted by IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use of our audience. The use of pictures, videos, and audio without the express written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. And Greg, you have the scoring of the individuals in the first half.
We will take a look at that as we look at Guerin's total there, 36. Robert Sorensen had 5, Kamia Chandler with 15, Josh Holba with 2, Lucas Parker with 5, and Dylan Morans had 7, but the interesting thing was he was on the bench most of the first half. So if he comes back out, it's going to be interesting to see how he does. And then Julian Melendez also had 2. Now as we go down to Park Tudor, with their total of 28 points, Ben Wilkerson had 1. Jermaine Coleman, the leading scorer, with 10. Thomas Ruffin had 8. KJ Mark had 1. Kay Washington had 2. Keelan Smith had 1. And Hudson Horvath had 5. Again, Ben Wilkerson, Bryce Petty, both with 2 fouls for Park Tudor. On the Guerin side, you've got Robert Sorensen, Kamia Chandler, and Dylan Moran's all with 2. So we'll see how that plays out in the second half and see if that causes a problem. Although, even with them on the bench, Guerin handled Park Tudor pretty well.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe, a new spot for breakfast or lunch. They're open Wednesday through Sunday. Make sure you try their classic breakfast and their sweet baked goods. Located in Lawrence, Coach recommends the Sloppy Joes with extra pickles as a great lunch. You notice the mayo wasn't in on this one.
We took that off.
Yeah, check out Tam's at 6427 Oaklandton Road. All right, let's talk about the second half. I thought Guerin really played well overall. As you mentioned, a couple of players in foul trouble. Park Tudor didn't shoot as well until the end, really, when Coleman hit a couple of threes, but their defense needs to pick up a little bit.
They definitely need to pick up the defense just a little bit, get a little bit more precise out there. And then I really do think I'd like to see Park Tudor go into the post a little bit more.
Yeah.
So far, everything has been out long, well beyond the arc. And when you've got that 6'7" boy out there, I mean, there's no reason he can't be underneath the basket. I'd really like to see him down there.
We may have a whistle away from the basketball. I think they might. Yeah, Wilkerson, I think, got the foul. Am I correct?
I wasn't sure. I think it might have been on Petty.
Okay, so it was Wilkerson, number 4. Yeah, so that's going to be number 3 on Wilkerson. That was away from the basketball, and that's a costly one because that's his 3rd. And so we'll see how long he'll stay in. Drive by Sorensen and an offensive foul.
Got the arm going there, that off arm just a little bit.
And for Sorensen, that's his 3rd.
3rd foul right out of the gate.
So a critical foul on 2 of the guards, 2 of the starters in tonight's game. So let's see what Park Tudor does offensively. Now, Coleman is working down low now.
Look where Coleman is.
But he's back out top.
Comes out for the out. And an offensive foul. Who was that on?
Yeah, I think they ended up getting Bostic. Moving screen, the 6'5" sophomore was not established underneath. So, are they going to say actually Ruffin instead of Bostic? So Ruffin gets the foul.
The car clean.
What, 36-28, actually 36-34 your score. We're going to take that back. 38-34 we're updated now. Guerin with the basketball. That lead has been cut down. At one point in the early portions of this game, it was up to 12. Nice cut down the lane and the foul call, and they may have gotten Jermaine Coleman on that one. And that's going to put Moran's at the line, and I've been impressed with this young man, the transfer from Avon. Jermaine Coleman, again, guilty of the foul. By the way, Moran's just a junior. We will see Ben Grissom come into the lineup now for Guerin Catholic, and also back into the lineup will be Hudson Horvath. Second free throw's on the way and good. So we're going to stay tight right here, and now you have Coleman working the point. I guess they call that a point forward now in basketball. High post there to Ruffin. Good ball movement, wide open in the corner, good. That'll be Cal Bostic hitting the three, and we've got a timeout.
30-second timeout by Park Tudor.
Want to remind you tonight's game brought to you in part by Pat Cherry Insurance Agency. We suggest you contact his team for all your insurance needs, family, car, business, and home, an insurance company to serve you. Contact them at 317-894-7000. Guerin now with a 2-point lead. It was a double-digit lead in the first half, but You kind of knew Park Tudor wasn't going to just roll over and die in this one. They're too good.
You knew they were going to make some adjustments at half. We've already seen some adjustments in how they're handling their offense. Jermaine Coleman is now kind of running more down low a little bit, where he was not at all in that first half.
Yeah, sometimes you get your offense too stagnant when you're playing the perimeter game. If you can get some movement, make that defense guard you, you're going to be in better shape. So now let's see how Guerin will respond. We mentioned Ben Grissom in the lineup. There's the guy they go to right there is Chandler, able to drive and score with the left hand.
Again, there was just no help on that. He went all the way around, and nobody came close to him. They let him drive.
We've seen him do that a lot tonight. That is Coleman. They leave him open. He's going to fire from there and hit another one. Well, now he's starting to heat up a little bit, and that 6-7 frame, as we talked about in the first half, that's really hard to get out and guard.
Yeah. It's going to be extremely hard to guard that. And he's not even like hugging the line. He's 4 feet behind the arc.
Ball loose, run down there by Chandler.
Staying with a tight man-to-man.
Here's a deep three. That's going to be missed. Lucas Parker can't get it. It was a 14-point lead officially early in the ball game, and now it's
Coleman's
down
calling.
to 1. Yeah, Coleman working on this left wing. And you kind of see there's nothing inside.
They've kind of dropped into a zone now.
Park Tudor trying to find an open shot. Here's Ruffin. Got it. Now they're heating up.
Guerin with the timeout.
Guerin wants to talk about it. They have seen that 14-point lead evaporate. And it's going to be just a 30-second timeout. Want to remind you, Jack's Donuts has great donuts made and served fresh every day, plus great tasting coffee. Make sure you stop by a Jack's Donuts. Maybe it's in your neighborhood or at 9105 East 56th Street. Jack's Donuts, the official donut of IndianaSRN. By the way, after tonight, if you don't stay up and try to check out some of the scores, we'll have all of those scores on our sports page coming up tomorrow morning. See, it is Thanksgiving tomorrow, Greg, and we still are working on Thanksgiving on the holidays.
Always working.
Always working.
Always working. You can get up, and before you watch the parade and stuff yourself with turkey, you can check the sports page. You can see what the scores were from tonight's game, and you can look forward to what high school games are going to be coming up on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be a busy week. We will have this same Guerin team. We have a boys-girls doubleheader coming up on Saturday. But Guerin has now fallen down by 2 thanks to the three-pointers. Coleman and Bostic with a couple of big threes. And Ruffin just hit one moments ago. Ball loose, turnover again by Guerin, and a foul in the backcourt. That pressure defense kind of hurting Guerin.
Looks like Moran's just picked up his third.
Well, the one thing about it now, you might set him right now, but you can't set him for a long time. You need his scoring.
Not with the score the way it is now. He can take maybe a minute or two, but then they're going to need him on the floor.
That is Bryce Petty. We'll keep an eye on Coleman. Will they try to set something up for him again? The drive down the lane, blocked shot as Washington gets rejected. Guerin a chance to tie the ball game. Spinner and the bucket good by Sorensen. Sorensen unofficially with 7 here tonight. Petty on the drive. He will find Coleman wide open. Missed this one, but run down in the corner by Horvath, and he throws it away. 2-on-1 break. Nice Euro step to the rim, and that'll put Chandler at the line for 2. Take a look at this spin move in the bucket there by Sorensen in their last possession. Washington will pick up number 1. I'll tell you right now, Chandler has been impressive tonight. We talked about what he did in the first half, and he just finds a way to get to the basket as he misses the free throw.
That's about the first thing he's missed all night.
Yeah. Bostic back in, and Ruffin will sit down there for Park Tudor. Good crowd here tonight from Guerin Catholic as well to see this matchup. Second free throw is on the way. It is good. So Chandler 1 of 2 on this trip. Right now this has all the makings, as you see Petty driving, the floater missed. Has all the makings of being a game that could come down to the final possession the way it's playing out right now. Sorensen driving left hand, good.
Sorensen has picked it up again this second half now. He's come alive, looking to drive the ball.
Shot in the corner by Bostic, no good, and Moran's with a rebound. Moran's will take it himself. Holba back off now to Chandler. Finds a drive down the lane, no foul there, and it'll be Park Tudor basketball, and then it's knocked out of bounds. Near steal there by Chandler.
Thought he had it as he came back for that.
Lucas Parker back in, the 6'4" senior now for Guerin. Coming in the closing minute here in the third quarter. Entry pass to Washington. He lays it in for 2.
It's interesting now, this second half, Park Tudor has definitely started looking more into that post area, starting to see if they can generate some offense down there.
Shot missed by Morans. Here come the Panthers back the other way. Coleman drives baseline, got it to go, and he's fouled. Well, he is now showing that he can take the ball to the basket here in the second half. They will get number 13, Holba.
Josh Holba.
Melendez back in now for Guerin. Chandler right back in. He was only out for a moment or so. And here is Coleman at the line. So he misses the free throw. He's missed a couple. Then they steal in the backcourt. Another turnover, layup good, Washington. Boy, some costly turnovers by Guerin here in the second half.
Guerin kind of falling asleep on that one.
You really have to take care of the basketball. Here is Chandler for 3. Missed it. Rebound and high to get it is Coleman. And it looks like they'll go ahead and play for 1. Maybe not. Here is Horvath for 3. Quick shot, though.
That seemed like it was a little bit rushed.
They did that earlier in the ball game, too. Last chance for Guerin. Entry pass Melendez. Missed it. Put back by Horvath. Or take that back. That's going to be Holba.
Whistle.
And a foul call. So Holba will go to the line. No time on the clock. They say that Bostic picked up the foul.
That's his second.
Away from the foul. That is only the 5th team foul. They're waiting here to straighten some things out at the scorer's bench. And they've actually put .3 on the clock, which really isn't enough time to do much of anything. They say Bostic actually has 2 fouls. And here is Holba. Good guy, has some touch, huh?
Nice looking shot.
So .3, even if you touch it, it's over. You again,
it's
not
basically
much.
Just a tip.
Yeah. Not sure why you'd put .3 up there, but second free throw is good. Holba hits a couple of big ones there, and that's going to do it After 3, Park Tudor leading it by 1.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Things are rocking here at Park Tudor, 49-48. Take a look at the miss. And then watch this as, the ball goes off the foot there. Chandler and the putback by Washington. And again, I have Guerin Catholic for 9 turnovers. And again, that's unofficial, but they had some really big turnovers there in the third.
They did. They had a couple of critical ones right near the end there where they just kind of got a little sloppy, maybe fell asleep, and Park Tudor jumped on it and took the ball and made him pay.
Jermaine Coleman, by the way, is 6'7". When he puts some weight on, gets into college, he's going to be a force, especially when he starts stroking that 3 from outside. So Park Tudor basketball to begin this potential final quarter of play. In the corner, here is Ruffin for 3. Can't get it to go. Well, they're going to shoot a lot of threes, no doubt, this entire season.
That has continued, although they have looked inside a little bit more than they did in the first half. And another Guerin Catholic turnover.
Number 10. And back the other way, we have a turnover, I do believe, on Bryce Petty. Is a little out of control there for Petty.
I think he was really hoping to get a call on that.
So Guerin a chance to take the lead. That was not a great fourth quarter for them, or I should say third quarter for them, as that shot's on the way good by Sorensen. Sorensen in double figures. But Guerin right back taking the lead. We mentioned earlier, had a 14-point lead, let it get away, lost that lead, and now come back. Here's Coleman, another 3, no. Battle for the rebound, we've got a jump ball. Hustle down there by Keelan Smith along with Melendez of Guerin Catholic, and the possession arrow in favor of the Golden Eagles. They got away with the travel right there, sliding that back foot. That is Parker, entry pass, basket is good, and a foul. That's going to be Melendez. Looks like they got Ruffin.
For Ruffin, his third.
That was a nice pass, and Melendez coming off the bench now. 4 points so far, chance to get 5, and an excellent free throw shooter. And all of a sudden, a 3-point lead. Well, it's been a fun one to watch tonight. Both teams going back and forth. I think we have seen something that is going to tell us these two teams are going to be pretty good by the end of the year. Once Guerin gets everybody back, too. 3-pointer good is Bryce Petty getting his first 3 of the night.
I think you're right. When they get Jack Cherry back, I think Guerin's going to really have something. And honestly, for a first game, I thought this has actually been a pretty clean game. Yeah, we've had fouls and we've had turnovers, but for this early in the season, not bad at all.
Melendez unable to get the point there. Petty brings it up the floor, and Park Tudor now a chance to regain the lead. When you mix some players in that have played either at another school or at the JV level, sometimes getting that chemistry and everybody on the same page is not always easy. And you notice right there, good patience on offense.
And this is the first time we've really seen Park Tudor take a lot more time to pass the ball around, to really try to get maybe an entry pass in, rather than just putting up the first open three they had.
Keelan Smith shot the three, tried to bank that one off the backboard. You kind of tell Coach Adams, there's a nice drive, and the basket good by Chandler again. But Smith was getting that look from his head coach, Tim Adams. We'll take a break. 3-point lead for Guerin.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Sportsmanship is the fair and generous behavior or treatment of others. Be a good sport and respect our coaches, players, officials, and fans. IndianaSRN and the Indiana State Officials Association know sportsmanship begins with you. So we got a close one here, and we saw a lot of good finals in high school basketball last night, which was the first full night of basketball. Girls have been going now. This is their fourth week. As Coleman pushed out away up the block by Morans.
It's been great to see the guys back in the gym again for high school basketball.
Well, Morans just picked up fourth, didn't he?
He did. That is Morans' fourth foul.
Well, now you're hoping that the young man can play with four. But you know they'll attack him. The inbound, and Coleman from the corner missed it. Holba the rebound. Got a good look in the corner the other way. That three is good. Lucas Parker. He has 8 points tonight. And now it's ballooned to a 6-point lead. Well, I tell you what, Moran's better be careful. That little hand check might have gotten him number 5.
It's been interesting. He's been pretty quiet. He had 7 in the first quarter, and he's just not really gotten much going after that.
Well, now we saw Park Tudor. They go in at the end of the first half, hitting the three. They came out hitting the three, and now in the fourth quarter, the threes aren't falling.
You are correct. And a couple times they did work it in, so I thought maybe this quarter they were really going to start packing it in a little bit, and they're still not doing that.
Nice move there by Morans. He couldn't finish. He saw Coleman coming. Coleman trying to get things going the other way. A drive down the lane, a foul. He got Holba, and that will send Washington to the line for 2.
It's Holba's third.
Take another look at this three in the corner. That was Lucas Parker. Needed 6 right here, but chance now for Washington. Hit 2 free throws earlier in the ball game, and so far perfect 3 of 3 on the night. And we'll see Cal Bostic come back in, and that'll put the freshman Smith on the bench. Looks like Wilkerson coming out of the lineup as well for Park Tudor. Second free throw is good. Holba, by the way, with 3 fouls. So their bigs, speaking of Guerin, Holba has 3, Morans has 4, but Morans is going to stay in the ball game. Now you see a little zone trap, full court zone trap put together by Park Tudor. Nice pass,
Beautiful
layup,
pass.
good. That'll be Sorensen. Boy, if you're going to trap, you got to get everybody back, and that didn't make some folks happy for Park Tudor. We might have ourselves a technical, and Tim Adams is not happy. I'm not sure exactly what the beef was about. They may just have given him a warning, though, not a technical.
No shots.
So there's still a little discussion. I think he was maybe, for Tim Adams, is more upset his defense gave up that bucket, because they came out in that full court zone trap hoping to force a turnover, and we've got a drive and a foul as Petty will go to the line.
Is that all? Was that on Mr. Moran's? Oba, now his fourth.
By the way, you saw the underneath official saying something to Coach Adams, and Coach Adams still saying something to one of the outside officials. Whatever it was, it had to have happened when Guerin was attacking that zone trap and they ended up scoring, and then something happened away from us. We didn't see it.
Whatever it was, Coach Adams was hot. You saw his assistant coach physically pulling him back to try to avoid getting teed up.
So we come up on 3 minutes and a 5-point lead. Driving, block shot. Sorensen tried to get it to go. Once again, he thought he was fouled.
Coach Allen is now giving it to the ref after that drive right there where there was no call.
See Guerin back in that 2-3 zone. Horvath on the drive, floater good. Big bucket for Horvath.
Nice little floater there. That's 7 for him. Nice break of the press.
Near turnover, and it is. Good defense there. By the way, they put Coleman on the top of that trap, and with those long arms.
Helps to have that long up there.
11 turnovers by Guerin. Chance now for Park Tudor to tie the ball game with a 3 right here.
Park Tudor here in about the last minute and a half has found another gear. Both offensively and defensively, they've really picked up the intensity on both ends.
Coach Allen is getting a warning from the officials as well. Here's Horvath for 3. Yes. Hudson Horvath now with 10, his second three-pointer. We're tied at 60.
It was a nice shot.
If I'm Guerin, I'll ask you, Greg, if I'm Guerin, do I extend that defense knowing that there's another turnover? And it's going to be a foul on Sorensen, and that's going to put Horvath, who just hit the 3, back to the free throw line.
That's 4 on Sorensen.
I was going to ask you, if I'm Guerin, do I extend that defense even more, knowing if I can stop the drive, there's not much of an interior game there for Park Tudor, but I've got to stop the 3.
Right. The problem, though, is they've got 3 of their main defenders with 4 fouls.
Exactly.
And when you're getting out there trying to defend out along the line, you get the hands out there, and all of a sudden you pick up another foul.
So
Horvath hits the first free throw.
Yeah, he's been big here. Hit that 3 a moment ago. Got the steal just now. Another turnover. 12 turnovers now for Guerin. Their turnovers, though, are coming at some pretty costly times in this game. But
yes,
now,
they are.
Just a 2-point lead.
Horvath has really turned it on here this fourth quarter.
Oh, boy, how about Chandler?
Chandler with the drive and 1.
Yeah, foul's going to be on Petty. That's going to be his 3rd. And right now, Park Tudor does not have an answer for Chandler tonight. Here is into the lineup number 21, Ty Sanders, a 6'2 senior, and they're going to save Morans on the defensive end. They want to keep him in for offense. We'll play that offense-defense the rest of the way, I'm sure, for him. Chandler gets the free throw.
25 points for Mr. Chandler tonight for Guerin Catholic.
So now Park Tudor, important possession right here. Who's your go-to guy? Well, I think it'd be Mr. Coleman.
Exactly. Guerin is extending out a little bit more than they have. They're pressuring, making them make those passes into the elbow, back out.
Here's
Long
Coleman.
three, and he nails it.
Coleman, another three-pointer, and it's a now 65-63 lead, and the guy you would expect to step up for you does so with a big shot right there. It's a full timeout. Park Tudor leads it by 2.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
If you were looking for, I think, a really good opening game, I think they felt it was that way last year. You want to see where your team is at. I know a lot of times you can play a team that isn't very good, but if you want to know where you're at, this is the kind of game you play.
This has been just an absolutely great game tonight. It's really been fun to watch, and the momentum swings have just kind of gone back and forth. First half, Guerin looked like they were going to run away and hide, and then at halftime, Park Tudor made some adjustments and came out and just kind of took over in the third quarter. And now we've just been back and forth in this fourth quarter now. And as you can see here, Park Tudor with a 2-point lead. Chandler on the drive, kick out for the three.
Boy, he did it again. I believe that was Lucas Parker, another big three.
Nice drive and kick.
Parker found his spot, didn't he?
He was just sitting there waiting.
By the way, Moran's back in the lineup. He's guarding Coleman. Coleman driving, left-hand shot, good. He wanted the foul, but did not get the call there. And now a 1-point lead for Park Tudor.
Again, I think that maybe is only the second time I've really seen him drive like that.
Parker, the hot hand, will he do it again? Parker leans in. There was a lot of contact. No whistle. Holba came away with it, and Guerin is going to get the timeout. Now they're going to have the basketball underneath the basket. Full timeout as Guerin trails it by 1.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Well, there you see the huddle for Guerin. We're going to take another look at this last kick outside and the three by Parker. Right in front of his own student section. That's where you go shoot it there, Greg. Don't go down at the other end and shoot in front of the other team's student section.
You don't want your other student section cheering you on.
They're usually going to be quiet, too. You know, let you shoot, then they'll go crazy.
Then they'll go nuts.
All right, what's the game plan here? 23 seconds. I would venture to say you want to run it down as far as you can because you don't want Park Tudor to get another possession.
Right, and I think you've got to play everything through Kamia Chandler. He's hit his free throws. They've not been able to stop him on a drive. I just feel like you've got to play everything through him.
There is Chandler. Holba sets the screen. Chandler slips in the lane, missed the shot. Coleman with a rebound.
That was a great shot.
I think he just lost his footing, though. Did you notice when he drove, he just kind of slipped a little bit?
Just a little bit. Lucas Parker on the foul. That's his second.
Yeah, but he doesn't slip right there. Take a look. Watch his foot when he gets into the lane in the paint. Right there.
Right there. Yep. Put him off balance for the shot.
The only player I'd see make that is our coach, Keith. He would make that every time, even at his age now.
Hudson Horvath at the line, 1-1, sinks the first. Park Tudor with a 2-point advantage. 12 seconds left, and Park Tudor's going to take a timeout.
So even if Horvath hits this three, you still have plenty of time to get a good look. So who is your best option? Chandler has not really shot the three. Everything he has had has been pretty much inside. Moran's hit a three early. Lucas Parker might be your best choice. He has about, 3 threes?
Parker's had 2 threes this quarter.
Yeah.
So he may be your best bet to go to. But I still think Kamia Chandler driving may not be a bad option, because you can always hope for an and one if you get in the lane.
Well, here's the other thing about it too. If I'm Park Tudor and I want to run time off, I'm not pressing hard, but I'm pressing enough to know that you guys are going to have to get in position, but I'm going to run a lot of time off that clock.
At least make them think about their passes.
Yeah.
Don't just let them roll it down the floor or have very easy passes. Get in the passing lanes, as you said. Make them take that extra 2, 3, 4 seconds. Takes away from setting anything up.
Well, Horvath, as you've seen already, the sophomore, very good free throw shooter. So in the huddle, you always say when you make it, make sure you set up your defense quickly. Don't let anything go down the floor easily. And, of course, when you look at Moran's and Holba, the 2 big guys there for Guerin, got to box out as well. So they have the inside position. He gets the free throw. That's big.
That's 4 of 4 this quarter for Horvath from the free throw line.
Park Tudor, they went ahead, and there's a big turnover pass intended for Parker.
That was a tough one. Nice pass, and he just, I don't know if he wasn't expecting it, just mishandled it.
Yeah, I think he wanted to go down to the corner.
Yeah, I think he might have been headed for the corner.
I was a little surprised, though. Take a look at this once again. Well, we didn't get a chance to see the whole play. There's a foul on the inbound, but take a look at this.
Is that on Sorensen, maybe?
See, I think he was expecting to go to the corner first.
Yep, I think you may be right. If that foul was on Sorensen, that's his 5th, but I'm not sure who that foul was on. Number 5, Malcolm Howells, his first foul. Park Tudor's going to be at the line shooting 2. KJ Mark will have 2 shots.
Guerin's going to call a timeout, and the reason that Malcolm Howells is in is because you need another guard, and when you get another guard in, you potentially can shoot a 3, only a sophomore, but again, if you hit a couple of free throws here, you don't have to worry about it.
Right. 3-point game here with a free throw makes it a 4-point game, a 2-possession game with 5 seconds left. That's pretty tough.
You know, one thing about Guerin, and the turnovers certainly hurt them tonight because they made some key turnovers in some really critical situations. But I think if I'm Coach Allen and we get that part cleaned up, you've got Chandler as your main scorer. Moran's going to get better with more varsity time. You like Sorensen. Holba can take up space underneath. I mean, they've got a lot of good parts to this team.
For sure. And remember, they've still got Cherry out.
Yeah.
He comes back. That's just one more person who can score and who can kind of help lead the team.
Yeah, and they did rebound much better in the first half than they did in the second half as Marks at the line. Marks, the sophomore, and he missed the front end of 2.
Well, still just a 3-point game with 5.2 on the clock. And we have another timeout. Looks like Guerin called their final timeout. So now it's going to play out. It is what it is now. Nobody's got any timeouts. So put your best play in. If he makes it, it's a 4-point game. I'm not sure what you do.
Well, I'm telling you what I'm doing if I'm Park Tudor. I just let the guy drive. I mean, even if he hits a 3, just don't foul him on the 3.
Right.
But I don't know that 5 seconds, you can get a good look, but I don't think you do 5 seconds get another possession.
Right. I don't see that as it's going to be tough. And then the problem is if he misses it, it's still a one-possession game.
Yeah.
But you've got to get the ball the length of the floor in 5 seconds. You cannot call a timeout. They're out of timeouts. So now you've got to set that up that if he misses, you've got to have somebody down there ready to receive that pass and shoot that 3.
So if you're KJ Mark, and the reason that you know that Guerin called that timeout, they want that young man to think about it a little bit. I doubt he's been in this position very much,
right,
being a sophomore.
So this will be interesting to see what he does. So as you see Guerin break the huddle and come up, it's really all down to this free throw, what he does. If he makes it, it's going to be pretty tough for Guerin to come back. If he misses it, everything's in play.
KJ's been to the line just once, his free throw moments ago. The left-hander eyes this one and got it.
You saw him take a nice deep breath there.
Now, whatever you do, don't foul here. 3 at the buzzer, and that'll do it. Park Tudor survives here tonight. A Guerin Catholic team coming in, giving them everything they wanted here this evening. But Park Tudor gets the win, 70-66. So 2 straight years now that Park Tudor has beaten Guerin Catholic, but this one, it was good from the very beginning. I know Guerin blew the 14-point lead in the first half, but they had a lead late in this one, just could not hold on. But give Park Tudor credit, too. They got some big buckets. Coleman hit big. Horvath hit some big free throws. They just came up when they needed to for a big victory here tonight.
Absolutely, that they just kept really firing, and no matter what, they didn't quit. Yeah. They just kept coming back. And I tell you, the star of this fourth quarter was Hudson Horvath.
Yeah.
4 for 4 from the line, had a big 3, had another 2. He just did not give up, and we really hadn't seen a lot of him early in the game. So a great job by him. Jermaine Coleman lit it up. So it's going to be interesting to watch him as we go this year, if he's going to continue to shoot 3s, whether he'll start driving. That's going to be an interesting watch as we go through the year.
All right, great. Good to see you again, sir. Thank you as always. Thanks to the entire staff here tonight. Great job. And we want to wish all of you a happy Thanksgiving as Park Tudor wins it 70-66.